There are 4 or 5 fundamental differences between the markets in India and as we see the markets relative to the developed markets. India is a small healthcare market, roughly about 65 billion in spend today. A small number, but with tremendous growth prospects. The second fundamental difference is the penetration is very low. Across any segment, India remains grossly underpenetrated. This could be in number of hospital beds, this could be in insurance penetration, this could be in the infrastructure of the number of doctors or the overall healthcare spending in India. The third fundamental difference is the industry structure. The industry structure is highly skewed towards the organized sector. So the organized sector, it makes up the belly of the market. And the premium is segment and the organized segment is a very small segment of the overall healthcare landscape. The fourth difference is the market is actually quite nascent. So the regulations, the standards, the different parameters of how the health system is actually set up is in its infancy and is being created. That's a big difference compared to the Western world. And the last thing is there is a tremendous amount of price sensitivity in this market. So the point about affordability is absolutely paramount. Given you are going to service a large middle class population, having a product or pricing the service at a very affordable rate is absolutely critical. As a result, we are seeing companies, given the structure of the healthcare market, enjoy extremely rapid growth rates. The leaders are growing at very high double digits. The second characteristic also is that the leaders are enjoying extremely attractive profit margins. And as a result of this, the valuations of players in India, especially the leaders, have been very attractive. And this is also a function of why financial investors like the PE investors, the private equity investors, are pouring a lot of money into healthcare in India. Against this backdrop, we are seeing companies deploy very bold strategies when it comes to developing markets and when it comes to markets and healthcare in India. They are focused on 2 fundamental aspects. They are focused on penetrating the markets in the larger geographies, in the larger cities, and they are also focused on market creation as new segments emerge and as the market starts to mature. The first pitfall really is about not taking a portfolio approach to markets like India. We need to think about a near-term strategy, but also make bets for the longer term. So a portfolio about near and long term. The second big learning here, big watch out, is to make sure the products are localized. A gold-plated offering may not be the right solution when we're going after the large mid-market in India and China. The third big learning here is to not being overly seduced by the big numbers in terms of the population. Indian rural market is the number of people there are very large. We're talking about 600 to 700 million people. Going after and cracking that market is extremely difficult and complex. The other big learning here is also about making sure that we are understanding the complexity in the market and we are having the right business models to go after different opportunities in the right manner. Going it alone can be oftentimes a big mistake, especially as we think about creating distribution footprints, which could be quite complex in markets like India. But having said that, I think it's very important to do the right diligence, given the data on many of the companies and partners is not very clean. And so doing the right level of due diligence to make sure you partner with the right kinds of players, I think is going to be very important. And the last factor is really not investing enough in the talent base. There is a huge war for talent in markets like India. It's about attracting the right talent base, but also about retaining and growing that talent base. That can become a core differentiator and a core source of competitive advantage. So not investing in the right talent base can be a big issue.